What's your gut reaction when you hear the term artificial womb? Maybe you shrug and say, some sort of device that helps people have babies? Sure, why not? Or maybe it sounds wrong, like man playing with nature, and you're looking for the right Jurassic Park quote to throw at me. No need, I found it for you. I used to think that artificial wombs would be boring and limited, that maybe they'd help a few people have babies in the future. But after spending months researching them for a story, I realized they'll likely change the way most people have children, and for the better. Skeptical? You'll feel different by the end of this video. But to understand this change, first of all, do you know what it's like having a kid today? To start, there's only one option, pregnancy, aka 9 months in a mother's womb. And while getting pregnant is a 5-star experience, being pregnant, not so much. It's months of nausea, backache, and heartburn, all capped off by several hours of DEFCON 2 level pain while strangers stare at your privates. This is the miracle of life. And of course, there's also that magical bond mothers talk about that comes from carrying their child. And I agree that Stockholm Syndrome with your torture can be a beautiful thing, because if it weren't for that, and babies being really cute, we'd be extinct. And there's no real alternative today. Sure, at the start, IVF can help create an embryo if the more fun way isn't working, but it can take many tries to succeed. And incubators can help at the end of the process to keep premature babies baking, but only for a couple of months. And there are options like surrogates for those who are egg poor but cash rich, but ultimately it's a woman's body that has to do the heavy lifting. So how do artificial wombs help? This video isn't about their tech or design, but at a high level, what these human hydroponics will do in the future is grow a baby from a single cell all the way to a crying newborn, completely outside a mother's body. Now again, if you're having a negative gut reaction to this concept, let me say 2 things before we get into it. First, assume that these devices will be safe, because government regulators are unlikely to approve a tool unless it produces babies that are healthy, both physically and mentally. And second, make sure you're looking at both the good and the bad, because artificial wombs show up often in a dystopian way, like in the Star Wars prequels where they're used to grow clone armies, or in The Matrix where machines use them to grow humans to be batteries for some reason. I'll talk about the societal implications in another video, but let's not overlook the more down-to-earth and massive positives possible at a human level. Just remember, people once thought flying was unnatural and dangerous too. And sure, it did enable nuclear bombers in 9/11, but it's mostly brought great stuff, like trade and impromptu weekend trips to Vegas, where nothing bad ever happens. Artificial wombs feel deeper because they cut to how we become human, literally. But what if it means it's a bigger opportunity? Not just to make parents and kids healthier and happier, but to live up to our higher values, to be more human. What I'm saying is, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater just yet. So let's look at the story of a couple having a baby in the future and see all the ways it changes. And warning, the last one could change parenting radically. And last note before we dive in, this is a new channel I'm starting on how innovations will change the way we live. And as an early watcher, you have a chance to really shape what I create. So I'm eager to hear from you. So let's meet Jesse and Jasmine, a couple having that excited, nervous conversation about when they should start a family. What benefit do artificial wombs give here? Well, see, Jasmine's 35. More women are choosing to have kids in their mid-30s or later, and that's hard mode for pregnancy. And by their 40s, well, miracle of life takes on a whole new meaning. But artificial wombs give Jasmine choice. She can always choose to have a child. And think about all the other benefits that come with that. Perhaps she found her true love in Jesse only because her biological clock was no longer making her rush. Or maybe Jesse was chill on their date, because he could choose to be a dad even if he never met the right girl. Now the only ticking they hear is that immortality, and we'll get to that in a future video. Okay, so let's say the couple decides to have a kid pretty soon, while Jasmine could still get pregnant naturally. Yet before Jesse can even ask, Jasmine says she wants an external pregnancy, i.e. with an artificial womb. It's obvious why, right? How many women long for months of pain, tearing in places that should not be torn, and postpartum mood swings? Artificial wombs give Jasmine comfort. Do you think Jasmine's being selfish by choosing this? Well, remember, the tech has been tested extensively and proven safe by this point, so why? People were reluctant about IVF in the 80s too, calling it soulless, until it led to very well-adjusted and very boring children. But don't worry, Jasmine will suffer for her choice here. Because down the line, when her kid's misbehaving, she can't guilt trip them about all she went through carrying them for 9 months. And why even be a mom at that point? This is truly a dystopian future she's choosing for herself. Anyway, now we get to having the baby. Jasmine and Jesse are very happy to make one naturally. And if you need a visual here, I urge you to check out the rest of the internet. But they opt for IVF and using an artificial womb right from the start. What do you think is the main reason? Well, today parents wait months to tell people about pregnancy because a high percentage fail in those first months. Artificial wombs give our couple security. The birthing center screens for issues with the embryo, and the artificial womb can better monitor it from the start and keep the pregnancy going. This means Jasmine and Jesse can open their heart to their baby sooner. Now comes one of the bigger changes for our couple. Because pregnancy today quickly changes life for the mother and her partner. But with an artificial womb pregnancy, the main change is there is none. Artificial wombs give Jasmine and Jesse freedom. They can go hard on travel, adventure, exploring the Mariana Trench, whatever weird stuff they want to get out of the way before the baby arrives. This next change, though, you might not have considered. See, our gut instinct says artificial wombs would reduce the parental bond. But what if they could offer more connection? For one, Jasmine and Jesse will still check in at the birth center regularly, look at their baby develop, perhaps argue over which great aunt to name her after. But they'll also stay connected from a distance. With wearable mics, they can share their lives with their baby. The artificial womb may transmit their voices clearer than a real one, and the baby can hear mom and dad equally. She'll hear both Jasmine and Jesse's heartbeats, their everyday conversations, the chorus of crickets while they camp in the redwoods, the bluegrass soundtrack on their South American road trip. Everything. And she hears both of them when they're relaxed and energetic. The question comes down to what connects us. I don't think it has to be necessarily proximity or hardship. It's just love. And artificial wombs may mean Jesse and Jasmine have more to give. Fast forward. What does delivery day look like? Well, there's no water breaking in the grocery store pickle aisle, no sirens, no taxi cab deliveries, just another relaxed drive to the birthing center. While this will devastate sitcom plots, for actual parents, artificial wombs give peace at birth. A nurse will help Jesse and Jasmine take little baby Maud or whatever out of the artificial womb, and they can finally hold their daughter in their hands. How many people would still choose natural birth? Heck, I dare you to go watch a video of one right now. Now, there's one last way artificial wombs can help Jesse and Jasmine, and it's the biggest change. See, humans are weird. Most animal babies pop out ready to run. Human babies, though, come out helpless, because our giant brains would explode our mothers alien style if we stayed a moment longer. But artificial wombs could give us flexibility here. Because Jasmine has heard that baby Maud can keep growing in her womb for 10, 12, or even 18 months with no issues. She'll pop out when she's more grown and less fragile, and our couple can skip many months of zero sleep and deal with less leaky diapers. Now, this is a massive shift, but is it a bad one? I think I know what the Pope would say, but I'm curious to hear from the rest of you. So there you have it, 7 ways artificial wombs can transform birth. Of course, we have to build the tool safely. They'll probably first be used for extremely premature babies, which will then teach us how to make them safe for more general use. And then we have to use them right to get these benefits and avoid any bad consequences. But hopefully you agree there can be positive value with them. Which possibilities seem the most valuable? Which seem the most scary? Now, we've just looked at parents so far. Can this tool impact society as a whole in a positive way? Well, before I say more there, first, thanks again for watching. This is a new channel on how innovations can change how we live, and if you want more content like this, please like and subscribe. And tell me where I should go deeper, or what else I should discuss, either in the comments or the private feedback link in the description. Now, if you are wondering what the broader impact of artificial wombs on society could be, well, I think they ultimately lead to nothing short of political revolution. Want to learn why? Then pick up your pitchfork and torch and click on this next link.